There's several different methods of estimating the numbers of rabbits in a particular area. And if you're called into an area to look at a rabbit problem or a suspected rabbit problem, it's a very simple way to actually ask whether there's a rabbit problem here. Spotlight transects and counts and other means of following changes in rabbit abundance are useful, but of course they've got to be done at night. And quadrant counts of rabbit dung are also used to estimate rabbit abundance, but of course that's time consuming. You've got to throw quadrants in the lot and the likes to estimate the number of, density of rabbit feces. And most practical landholders or land managers simply need a quick and easy means of understanding whether rabbits are present and abundant enough to be causing problems. There's a few simple steps you can take. Walk around the area in question and make sure that you just cover most of the habitats there, whether it's along a roadside vegetation spot or in cropland. Take about 15, 20 minutes to cover perhaps 2 or 3 hectares and mentally record the signs of rabbits. These include clumps of rabbit dung, rabbit buck heaps, latrines and the like, scratched up soils, rabbit warrens. But in my experience, rabbit dung is the most reliable evidence because it persists over many, many months, and unlike other signs of rabbits, it's not obliterated by strong wind or rain or even outbreaks of calicivirus. The sort of thing you will see is a small clump of pellets, perhaps. The size of rabbit pellet might be confused with those from hares, but you can say, if say 2 of them are fit across a 10-cent piece, it's probably rabbits. Buck heaps, of course, are scatters of rabbit dung where the male rabbits deposit dung to mark out their territories. You might see tracks, typical tracks in sandy country, and of course warrens. But again, the important thing is the amount of rabbit dung you see. Now you can score that in the sense that if you find none in your 15-minute search, you score it as 0. If rabbit dung is seen very occasionally in small clumps of 5 or 10 feces, quite some distance apart, you can score it as 1, and so on. And so you build up a score. Scattered clumps of dung less than 10 metres apart, dung with larger clumps and occasional buck heaps, given a score of 3. Rabbit dung widespread, you see it almost everywhere you go. Buck heaps common, but more than 10 metres apart, we give it a score of 4. And 5 is rabbit dung abundant everywhere, and buck heaps are commonly less than 5 metres apart. Your score and rabbit abundance is approximately as this table shows. The number of rabbits per hectare, adult rabbits per hectare, increases very quickly with your score, so it's not just a linear score. The score of 5 is 10 or more rabbits to the hectare, which is quite a lot of rabbits. Although I tried this method out when I first developed it in Australia, it's actually been more extensively evaluated in Spain. Spanish friends, Miguel and Rafa, who were here last year, they found that there's a strong correlation between the estimates of rabbit abundance obtained using my method and the number of pellets that they counted per square metre in thrown quadrants. They believe that the method provides a simple and inexpensive way of estimating the abundance of rabbits, and they found that could be picked up. The method could be used by non-expert land managers after a very short demonstration. It reliably estimates rabbit abundance in different land uses, which is important. and in different seasons and works well across a whole range of rabbit abundance. And they recommend the method for estimating rabbit abundance so that management decisions can be made. And it's actually quite widely used in many parts of Spain these days. Finally, the important thing is to manage rabbit density to your management objectives. For example, if you're interested in a conservation outcome, a density of only 1 rabbit to 2 hectares, or half a rabbit per hectare, score equals 1, that number of rabbits can actually completely suppress the regeneration of some of the more palatable native acacias. Soil erosion and weed problems, the score of 3 is a point where you should be taking some action to avoid soil erosion and weed infestations. And finally, animal production. 12 rabbits eat as much as 1 dry sheep, so a rabbit abundance score of 4 or 5 indicates a very serious reduction in livestock productivity. Given that summary and the estimate of rabbits, it's then appropriate to take some action, and that could be fumigation, ripping, poisoning, fencing, and giving general advice. And again, it's important to evaluate results, and you can use this same method to estimate the change in rabbit abundance over the course of the year or before and after poisoning. So that's it from me.